Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're back in Warframe for another guide, and this time we're having a look at Oraxia. Well, actually this video isn't really about her. You see, what really makes Oraxia that great is actually her own companion. That's right, she isn't broken at all until you actually introduce her companion, and specifically that companion needs one mod, and that mod is called Contagious. What is this mod, you ask? We'll get there very soon. For now, let's introduce our new Warframe Oraxia. Added to the game, with the Ileweaver update, her spider team is quite easy to spot, and for those with arachnophobia, yeah, I'm sorry, this is probably not the video for you. And if you wanna stop watching right here, I think it's gonna be the best choice because it's gonna get more spidery the longer you stay. That said though, I do really like her design, however a skin wouldn't hurt at all, because yeah, I do need more customization options. But that's enough introductions for now, so let's jump into the build. Starting from Oraxia's abilities. Her passive allows her to become invisible for 8 seconds while wall watching, and this can be refreshed whenever you want just by doing another wall watch, and yeah, you can pretty much stay invisible for the whole mission. Moving to her first ability, this one is called Mercy's Kiss. By casting the ability, you will leap on an enemy and deal toxin damage, and if the enemy has 50% or lower HP, or he is vulnerable to mercy kills, you can insta-kill him instead. And additionally, enemies killed by this ability will drop energy and health orbs. Her second ability is called Webbed Embrace. By casting this ability, you throw a web on the ground, enemies inside its radius will take toxic damage, and they are also more vulnerable to damage. You can have up to 3 of these webs on the ground at any moment, and each one lasts for a certain duration. Then we have her third ability called Widow's Brood. When casting the ability, you deal toxin damage in a cone in front of you, and all enemies hit by the darts summon scuttlers on that. Scuttlers are the little spiders you see on the ability tab, and they can also deal some damage on their own. In fact, they deal toxin and impact damage. You can have up to 10 of these scuttlers running around at all times. They last for a certain duration, and they also increase in level with the mission. And finally, we have her fourth ability called Silken Stride. When casting the ability, Oraxia will transform into her spider form and gain more HP, toxin damage bonus which is doubled on wall watch for her primary and secondary weapons, but you cannot use your melee weapons anymore, and instead when performing a melee attack, you'll instead cast Mercy's Kiss on an enemy. Enemies killed while in Silken Stride form will also explode and deal toxin damage to all other enemies in a certain radius. And by being in the Silken Stride form, you have access to Silken Thread that allows you to dodge and leap towards the surface, which will also trigger your passive. Those were the abilities. Let's now move on to the Archon Shards. I'm using 2 Emerald Shards with +2 to corrosive stacks, this way we can armor shape enemies by just applying corrosive. 1 Tauforge Emerald Archon Shard for 45% more toxin status damage, 1 Tauforge Crimson Shard for more ability strength, and 1 Tauforge Crimson Shard for ability duration. And this is the build I'm going to use today. Summoner's Wrath for 75% more companion and summon damage, Prime Flow to increase our energy capacity, Equilibrium to gain energy from health pickups and health from energy pickups, Archon Continuity for more ability duration and also to apply corrosive whenever we inflict a toxin status effect, Umbral Vitality and Umbral Intensify for a lot of health and a lot of ability strength, Blind Rage for even more ability strength at the cost of ability efficiency, Stretch for ability range, and Adaptation to gain damage resistance. And the Arcanes I'm using are Multi-Augmented for up to 60% ability strength after killing enemies, and Arcane Bellicose for up to 72% more ability strength depending on our max HP. And since we gain a lot of HP from our fourth ability, we can easily max that amount and gain the full 72%. As for your weapons, I suggest a very powerful primary and secondary weapon, and for your melee you can use whatever you want. I just like the Predators because they give me more sprint speed, more slide, and also more parkour velocity, and that's honestly all you need your melee weapon for, because you are not gonna be able to use them for pretty much the whole mission. And I'm using the Strong Prime as my primary of choice with these Incarnon evolutions, and this is because this is a very powerful Incarnon weapon, and it does deal quite a lot of damage, which is exactly what we want for this Warframe. Since she can also grant us an additional toxic damage, which is quite nice to have, and this is the build for the Furies with these Incarnon evolutions, and this weapon also benefits quite a lot from having toxin, because this weapon deals a lot of damage on its own, and dealing even more damage in the form of toxin is usually a good thing. And the Predators have these evolutions, but honestly, just use whatever weapon you want. It's not gonna be that important. If you can equip the Predators, it's probably the best one to have, once again, just because of those encounter evolutions. I'm also going to use Madurai as my focus tree, because it grants us an additional 50% casting speed and an additional 40% ability strength, which is quite nice to have. And now it's the companion's time to shine. You see, this little fella is going to allow you to deal crazy amounts of damage and clear the whole map in seconds. This happens because, as I mentioned at the start of the video, there is this very fun mod called Contagious Bond. And yeah, let's just see what it does. When your companion kills an enemy afflicted by status effects, 50% of those statuses will spread to other enemies within 9 meters, up to a maximum of 100 stacks. Yes, that is what it does. The E did even nerf this mod a while ago, because it did not used to have any cap on the amount of statuses you could spread. Now it's 100, which is still very high, and that's why a Warframe like Oraxia can easily get to damage cap with this mod and even with this build. So what happens is that our scuttlers will apply a lot of statuses, and we also do apply quite a lot of toxin, and then our companion just whoops in, kill the enemy affected by like 50 to 60 status effects, and then triggers this mod. And by doing that, he spreads all those toxin procs to all enemies within 9 meters, and then those enemies can also get killed by our companion, because he can strike multiple enemies, and they are also all affected by our quills, which counts as companion damage. And yeah, this keeps on triggering, and yeah, you see the issue, yeah, the skeleton issue. And this is what makes Oraxia the good, a mod on her companion. Now with this build, your companion can also grant you more critical damage thanks to Tenacious Bond. He can also armor ship enemies, because having them debuffed by many statuses and viral, and also damage vulnerability from her second ability is not enough, so let's also armor ship them. He also grants us additional ability efficiency up to 30% whenever a channeled ability is active, and our fourth ability is in fact a channeled ability. So yeah, it does a lot of stuff for us, and yeah, he pretty much is always alive thanks to Panzer Evolution. And this is the build I have on the claws, which is just a lot of electricity, because I do not have this status on any other part of my kit, so this is a nice way to spread that as well. And that's pretty much all you need to know, so let's now see what happens when we apply all those funny multipliers to a bunch of enemies. Alright, we have here our 20 Corrupted Heavy Gunners, level 225, with Steel Path modifiers. Do you think that's gonna matter? It's not gonna. It is not gonna. Let's cast our fourth ability, and yeah, you can see our companion being able to deal quite a lot of damage, so let's summon more. And this time let's also add our scuttlers, because those are fun to have around. Yeah, very fun to have around. And from now on, I can just sit back, relax, and watch my little guys and my companion take care of all the enemies in front of me. And that's just gonna happen in mission as well. You can just hang on a wall with your 4 by just casting your dodge towards any surface. You can also refresh the invisibility. The range is actually insane. I think you have like over 100 meters of range on your dodge. It's actually, yes, it's actually 108 meters, 0.75. That's all there is to it. Your 2 is gonna debuff enemies and also CC them, so they won't be able to shoot at you. You have your 1 that you can cast to regenerate some energy if you need to, because it does drop health and energy orbs, and we have Equilibrium, which allows us to pretty much never care about energy at all. Let's do that again. Let me recast my 4 again, because I now have more power strength. And that's it. That's all you do. You cast those 2 buttons and your companion kills the enemies. That's it. You don't need to use your weapons, you don't need to use anything else, just do that. And yeah, that is pretty much Oraxia and her companion. Yeah, there's a lot of little guys. There's so many little guys in here. Yeah, she is an incredible Warframe, and she also has access to this very powerful combo of her and her companion, which makes all the enemies vanish in seconds. This happens so frequently in a mission that you'll probably be left wondering, like, where are all the enemies? Am I actually playing Silpath? Is this supposed to be difficult game scenarios? It's not. It's just not. You're just gonna have fun, hang on walls, and yeah, let your little guys kill all the enemies. Indeed, another example of Warframe's delightful balance. Anyways, I'll now leave you guys to the showcase where I tested this build for 10 minutes in a Grenade Silpath survival, so you can see how it performs in a more realistic scenario. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like, and if you like my content, consider subscribing. I wish you a beautiful rest of the day, thanks for watching, and bye bye.
Sometimes I'm selfish, get jealous, I feel a little helpless. My whole world has shifted again. You made a promise, I kept it. Now I'm second guessing. My whole world has shifted again. Now I drop back to an empty room, and it's setting in. Now that your things are gone, what have I done? Was everything worth this? I guess
just turn around and leave me. The tear in my eye drops on the floor alongside my speed. My knees are drenching in the blood I spill just to get in. When I look around me, everything I had went up in flames. My lonely way. When I look around me, everything I had went up in flames. My lonely way. I never pray to God anymore. I'd rather no one hurt me. Redemption, I have waited for you to come and drown all my sins.